Welcome to another edition of Pop Culture Radio. I don't have to give anyone the fingers tonight to tell them to start the show because I'm the guy who hits the fucking board. Let's go! Yeah. It's a no Owen tonight. So that means it's a Dirty Bush show, which means my co-host and the man with the plan is the bearded one, Mr. Bushey.
Let's go! Did any of those come through? I can't hear myself. Hello?
Really?
Hello?
You can't hear yourself at all?
Hello?
Turn your headphones up, because remember, Owen normally sits there.
They're up.
I hear you fine. You can't hear yourself?
Barely. Hello, hello, hello. That's a little better. There we go.
Have you been to a doctor for hearing yet, or no?
Oh, God, no. I just got my new glasses. Don't tell me I need fucking hearing aids now, too. It's got to be rough to wear hearing aids with headphones, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Feedback?
I know some people who do it.
Is there feedback?
Maybe. I don't know.
You put your headphones in.
Well, so here's the thing. Tonight is no Owen, no Brittany, just me and Bushy. And so I decided to do something special for you, Mr. Bushy, to start the show tonight.
Okay.
You mentioned something last week.
Anytime you're on a radio show or podcast and someone says they got something special for you, it's always could be good, could be bad.
Well, you mentioned being a fan of certain types of shows.
Okay.
And wondering if those certain types of shows were fake or not.
Oh, I know they're fake. I'm just wondering how much of it is fake.
Well, we're going to get all those questions answered. Mr. Aaron Fechter, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Oh, hell yeah. Excellent.
It hits me so humorously that I am being called on as an expert witness here.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I couldn't believe that I was watching a TV show and had questions about it and all of a sudden recognized someone on the TV show. So I just feel kind of lucky that we know you and may be able to get a little bit of a inside scoop.
Okay, well, I've never told anybody the inside scoop yet, but it's only because I had a gag order for 5 years. I wasn't allowed to spill the beans. And then, but I told everybody, I promised everybody, I was going to tell everybody, I was going to write a book on it, and I still will write a book on it, how fake it is.
Excellent.
And
that gag order's expired, though, right?
What'd you say?
That gag order's expired, though, right?
Yes, it's been 10 years. Can you believe it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everybody keeps writing me and saying, hey, man, your 5 years is up. Your 5 years is up. Please tell the story. And, I've been thinking, okay, maybe I can get some money out of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody wants to hear the story. But, I figured that, I wasn't risking too much by putting it on on your podcast.
Oh. That's kind of a little bit of a backhand there, but we'll take it.
Maybe a little bit, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no. Hey, look at it this way. Apparently, if we were bigger, we wouldn't get the scoop. So, what do you
That's
want?
right.
What do you want?
If you were bigger, I'd be looking for some money.
Right. And we have none. So
okay, so hold up, Bushy. Why don't you tell Aaron? So this is what's funny to me. Tell Aaron the story of. So you've had this theory for years about these shows being fake, and then tell him how your morning started that day, and then.
Well, it wasn't even like so much as a theory. I mean, it was pretty much proven years ago. I forget which one of the Storage Wars, but they found out that they were actually putting cool things in the units for them to find, before they opened it and everything. So of
course.
It's not like it was anything new, but my thing with the shipping wars is just how fake the whole, it doesn't matter what they're shipping. It always has to be there in 2 or 3 days. They're always going to deduct you $500 an hour that you're late. I'm convinced that the Jared guy, and I don't even know if you know this, but I'm convinced that the Jared guy wasn't ever even a shipper. Like, he was just an actor that they hired to be the juvenile, the newbie, he was, but I believe just 100% that guy was an actor. You know what I mean? Just playing the part, and all the loads he got were all, he took monkeys to a fucking or a darn hotel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll try to keep it clean.
But no, you have to keep it. So tell the story. What you said. You woke up that morning. You said woke up that morning, hit the bowl, and turned on the TV, and then there's Storage Wars, and you see Aaron, and you go, "That's it."
Well, no, it was Billy. Crap, what's the bear's name?
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob. So I turn on the TV and I sit down, and there's Billy Bob, being dollied out of the back of a trailer, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. There's the Rock-afire explosion on Shipping Wars. And it was. I had just turned the TV on. That was the first thing I see. And then, sure enough, you pop up and you're helping to load. That was one of my big questions. I know you're a very intelligent person, and I mean you're a engineer. I would even say, and
maybe
they had you take a one of the, I think it was a sign or something that went with it, and it had casters on it, and they had you put it on the pallet jack, which is a smooth metal surface, also with wheels underneath. And I'm like, there's no way that this was his idea. This is just,
That's funny that you would have picked that particular scene out, because, man, that one left me scratching my head. I said, what are you doing? We engineered this sign for mobility.
Right.
There's
with
better wheels on this frickin' sign than there is on your dolly.
Right.
Why are you making me put this on the dolly? And the answer to that question, I was looking back on my emails before the show. I didn't realize we were going to be talking about this tonight, so I'm not really well versed on it or researched, or my memory is faded. However, I went back and read some emails just now, and there was that comment. I said, I can't believe they made me put that sign on the dolly, which actually almost wrecked the sign.
Yeah, because it rolled and almost flipped off.
Yeah,
that I could tell that was real. Like, it was really falling, and you were really trying to catch it, because whatever idiot had decided they were going to take a sign designed for mobility with large casters on it and put it on a slick metal fork on a slope on a uneven concrete. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So
the director made me do that.
Yeah.
The director made me do that. And I was trying to be a good boy and follow directions, because maybe I could get a career in Hollywood after this or something. But it was definitely, a lot of stuff was imposed on me. But that's an interesting question where you said how much was fake and how much was real. Because some things happen that are real, and that's like magic, and they keep that. And then some things they just plan. They have some ideas before they show up for the shoot, but sometimes they're just shooting off the hip, like the thing with the sign, for example. Oh, I got an idea. Let's make him put it up on a dolly. So some stuff is fake right on the spot. Some of it's real. What's really strange is that the greatest thing that happened that would have really redeemed Jen, that was the female trucker.
Right.
The thing that would have really, she really deserved a point, and they were trying to keep her from getting any point. They were really beating up on her. And, and off camera, I talked to her about it. I said, how come they're beating up on you so bad and making me yell at you and making me make you do things I wouldn't make anybody do?
Right.
And she said, they're just doing that. That's what they think is good TV. And they're always picking on me on all the episodes.
Yep.
But she was a real trucker. She was actually, a real trucker.
Right.
She says, we're real truckers. We just do this bit for them.
Right. No. Like I said, I believed, judging on the way loads were, because you can't fake a tie down. You know what I mean? Like, if you actually know what you're doing and you're having to strap a plane or a large piece of equipment or something, you can't really fake proper tie downs and stuff, for one. Load distribution, understanding how to load, because even though they would have all these problems while they were loading, all of a sudden you got to the point where it's like, cut to the trucker, taking charge, and they're going to show them how to do it the right way, and then all of a sudden it goes off without a hitch. Well, they could have done that from the very start. They had that knowledge. Going back to what I was saying about the Jared guy, and maybe you do, maybe you don't know. I don't think he was ever or maybe they did find somebody that was brand new and just very juvenile in that industry and didn't know. But to me, and with the loads he would get and how much he would bid and everything, it just seemed like he was a plant. You know what I mean? Like an actor part of the show.
Well, you know what? You'll have to bring everybody up to speed on this. Was Jared like a competing trucker who was trying to get the load?
Yeah, he was the young kid that ended up buying like the enclosed Bible van.
Oh, okay. So I don't know anything about that and never met him.
Okay. So did you meet? I assume you only met the Crystal, right? Or what was it, Crystal? Jen. Yeah. So I assume you only met Jen, the trucker you were working with, correct? Or
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? That's an interesting thing because usually every time when we ship stuff from creative engineering, my employees and I have to actually do the loading of the truck and the securing in the truck. This isn't something the truckers do. They pull up and they give you 15 minutes to get your load on there, and they sit in their damn cab and wait for you to do it and bitch at you if you're not doing it fast enough. That's the way the real world works.
Okay.
The trucker had to do everything she did. You know what they had me have her do? She had to roll up the wires. So my show was still sitting there unpacked. And I said, you want me to get my show ready for you guys? They said, oh, no. No, we want you to make the trucker roll up your wires and put things in boxes and tape up the boxes. You know, we want her to do packing and shipping.
Right. Well,
which is not their job.
Well, they need more to film. They need more.
Yeah, they just wanted more stuff to screw up.
Yeah, the star, so to speak, of the show are the truckers, so they need, more film of them doing things, no matter how pointless those things might be. Another thing, when they show them having blowouts on the road and stuff, I could tell those are obviously fake. It's just cut camera photography.
You want to hear the true story about the the blowout?
Sure. There's one per episode, which seems proportionately incorrect, or statistically impossible, if you will.
Well, isn't that like about the only thing they could think of that happens to you when you're shipping something?
Right.
You have a blowout. Your radiator can blow up, but they love stuff like that. Because without that, they have no drama.
Yep.
Well, where on the show do you remember the blowout occurring?
It was in the parking lot shortly after she left, I think.
Okay. That's okay. Now remember this. I haven't seen this show in 10 years.
Okay.
So I'm trying to draw from my memory too. But what I recall, and we can, what, next time we do a show about a show, we should watch the show.
Right.
It was, I hate to act unprepared or anything, but I did just get this call at like 5 o'clock.
Oh, I just figured you were there, Aaron.
Hey, I'm the one that brought this up over a week ago, had planned on writing down all these questions and did absolutely nothing, and it's our show. So, don't feel bad about being ill-prepared. I'm not prepared at all.
Okay, so yeah, the blowout on the TV show occurred after they left my building, and they were on their way to the location that they were supposed to deliver the show.
Right.
And I supposedly got really mad about it. Okay. Now that's one thing I'm remembering. Okay. Because remember, I haven't seen this a long time. Now I'm remembering something else too. So you're going to have to take both memories and figure out which one is right. Remember, I'm 71 years old. I can't remember shit. Okay. So what actually, but I do remember what actually happened.
Yeah.
Because I was again so amazed and surprised that the happy, love to make everyone happy, love to do the best job I can, Aaron Fechter was being squashed by the director.
Okay.
So what actually happened is I was all ready for them. It was that morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I was all ready for them to arrive. And I was waiting for them to get there, and they were a few minutes late. And then I get the call from this lady. I guess I could tell you her name, but if I could remember it. Anyway, I'll probably remember it at some point. Anyway, so I get the call from the director saying, okay, we're right around the corner from your building. We've had a blowout, and we need to get the tire fixed, and then we can get on our way and see you. I said, "Oh, you're right around the corner." I looked out my window. I could see her from my frickin' building. I saw where they did. They had a blowout 1 block from my building. So I said, "Hey, I'll be right over with my jack and replace, change your tire for you." And no, wait a minute. No, you know what? I didn't. That's right. I didn't tell her that. I decided, how I am. I'm kind of a nerd. So I got in my car and went over there with my jack.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And I said, "Hey guys, here I am. I got my jack. Let's fix that tire." And they said, "Oh, no.
How dare you?
No way. No, you're going to be pissed about this."
You got to cuss her out for having bad luck.
Yes. She wanted me to cuss her out.
Oh, man.
And I said, "Well, I guess if that's what you want, okay." So I stayed out of the scene where they were changing the tire. But I was standing right there the whole time while they were changing the tire or waiting for Good Sam to get there and change it or somebody.
Were they using your tools, though?
No. Oh, wait a minute. They might have used my damn tools now that you mention it.
Don't tell him it's his jack, then they know he's a good person.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I'm going to confirm this, though, because believe it or not, I still intend to write this book. And when this thing happened, I wrote everything down and with a fresh 1-day memory. And I wrote everything down in a book, in like a little book. And I'm going to use my notes, which are lost, but I'll find them. And I'm going to write this story. But yeah, so I had to watch them change the tire. And then I had to ride back to my shop and, not even make an appearance in that scene at all. And I remember standing on the stairwell and receiving their call that was supposedly recorded. So there might have been a recording on the show of me talking to them about the flat.
I don't remember that.
Okay,
not that it didn't happen, but I don't remember that part.
And in this phone call, I had to be really mad about the fact that they had a flat tire.
Oh, okay, yeah. If it was a set up one, then yeah. Because yet again, every episode, no matter who you're shipping for, seems to be a dick and wants to call you and tell you how horrible you are and how late you are, and how they're gonna, you're gonna charge them. It's gonna be $20,000 an hour for every minute you're late. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like an episode of Scooby-Doo. They're all the same show.
Yes, yeah. And they would have got it delivered if it wasn't for you meddling old people.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to play my role. Now, one of the interesting things about getting to play this role, though, where I was supposed to be mean to this fairly attractive young lady trucker.
Which that was the dead giveaway, that it was fake, was that Aaron Fechter was being mean to an attractive young lady.
I mean, anybody.
That was the dead giveaway.
Yeah, that's not in Fechter genetic ability.
That's anti-Fecht.
My dad also was a chump. There was no way in the world any of us, like when my dad would order coffee at a restaurant, and if the waitress was big and fat and the coffee came cold, he slammed the hammer down. But if she was a cute waitress and she put the coffee down, I don't care what temperature it was, he was happy as he could be. I understand that.
Different time.
I understand it. It's just genetics. So anyway, but in this situation, this one time in my life, I was supposed to have natural inclination towards being mean to this girl. And I had to think, on my feet, what I could do to be mean to her, too. It wasn't all scripted by the director. I was supposed to come up with some of my own shit.
Oh, you had to freeball it. You had to, improv.
So they They took out where you punched her?
Yeah. I know. And it was so funny, when the cameras cut off, she and I were like, "Man, I don't know why they're making me be so mean to you." And she's like, "Yeah, I know. They just always do that." I said, "But really, I want to tell you, you're really doing a great job."
Right. So what about at the very end where there was damage to one of the suits? And,
oh, man.
And you got, I'm assuming that was all. Now, here's my question. Did any actual damage actually occur, or did they go over there and snip the suit and was like, okay, now you guys are going to do this whole back and forth where she's going to owe you, money and you got to take money off and all this?
Okay, here's what happened with the suit. They really did. What really happened was that fat tipped over in shipping because they were pushing us and rushing us, and we didn't have enough blocking on fat. So, and also they probably took corners a little too fast, because really the truth is you shouldn't take corners fast. You should always take them nice and slow when you're traveling with the characters. And they do. They get those truckers get in there and they take corners fast. Anyway, so Fats had tipped over and was leaning on his shoulder. And when we tipped him up, he had a rip on his shoulder. And I was across the parking lot when they opened the trailer and saw that Fats was tipped, and says, "Oh, this is great. Look, there's a character that's fallen down inside the trailer. Let's get Aaron in here and shoot a scene."
See,
and this is up in the parking lot in Atlanta now, where the show was being delivered.
I 100% believe they pulled the trailer over before they ever got there and was like, "Hey, tip one of these things over."
No, I think you're wrong.
Really?
Because it really was not. It was not bolted down good enough.
Okay.
So it was obvious that that's exactly the way it would have fallen if they took a corner. And then, of course, it was once it fell, it was pretty settled. You know, it was actually stable in its fallen position.
I got you.
But
so
it was
had
probably
settled.
rubbing.
It had settled
Yeah,
over
it had
time.
settled. But it was rubbing, and it was rubbing right there on that spot where there was a tear. And they couldn't wait to get me in on that scene to see how mad I'd get. And that was the scene that I recall where I was able to play the maddest, because they actually did create some damage.
Right.
So I said, this is bad. This is really, really bad. That's an expensive coat. You guys have no idea how much that coat's worth. And they're like, yeah, play it up. Multiply the damage by like 5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sure, because you guys signed a document that said you're going to pay me back for anything that happens to my characters, and I'm going to hold you to it.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, okay, well, this is just for the TV. We'll pay for the damage, but you can't double the damage or triple the damage on your report to us to pay this back. That has to be real.
That's so funny. That's my favorite part of this whole interview so far. Oh, no. On the show, we definitely damaged your stuff, and we want you to say it cost 3 times as much as it really did, but not when you actually charge us.
Yeah. When we pay you off.
On the real. Yeah.
That's right. When we pay you off, it's like nothing.
That's
like
so
you could fix this with a needle and thread.
So here's my question, Aaron. In total, so when they came to you to be part of this show, was it something where you were just already you were shopping freight to move this product?
That's a really great question.
And then they came to you and said, "Hey, we'll give you a discounted rate if you do it with this show," or like, how does that work?
See, that's such a great question because there was a lot of pre-episode drama around that very question. Who did I need to ship a show to? See, they came to me and said, "Who do you need to ship a show to so we can do a Shipping Wars episode?" And I said, "Well, I don't really have anybody to ship a show to right now. Nobody. Nobody's bought one. I don't need to send one to anybody." I said, "Think about it. Come on, think about it. Who could you ship a show to, even if you ship it back? Who could you send the show to, even if we got to ship it back?"
Oh, wow.
So
they
really
created
didn't
it.
I am so glad you asked that. That was one of the questions I had that I didn't write down. But
Yeah,
right,
so I started.
right
Yeah.
was it? So they're actually soliciting loads, like they're
Yeah.
actually creating these loads, not just
Yeah.
finding people that need stuff shipped.
Yeah, now they may, find people that need stuff shipped. That I'm not saying they never do that, but they certainly were not above faking a client.
Wow. That is, so then that being said, there was no client. You just shipped it somewhere to ship it somewhere.
Hey, we got cut off here. Hang on. Let me see what's wrong.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, try that.
Can you hear me?
There, yeah.
Yeah, I can. Okay, I had to
Okay.
switch speakers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just saying, so there was, in fact, not somebody that you had to ship it to? They just kind of...
No.
Wow.
No, I didn't have anybody to ship a show to. We had to pull one out of our ass.
That is great.
That's so awesome.
So they're like, "Hey, Aaron Fechter, this will make a great episode."
Yes. Yeah, that's all it was.
That's awesome.
And more like Rocket Fire Explosion.
I was about to say, it's they want to ship things that are of awkward shape and size, and also intriguing, maybe something you're nostalgic about or have never heard of. One or the other.
Well, yeah, they're into visuals. They want to see us pushing a gorilla around on a dolly.
Right.
So that's why they chose me, or you never know. Maybe there could be somebody in the production team that was a Rocket Fire fan and had the idea. But it is all based on, clicks, if you will.
Right.
That's awesome.
This is so cool. I had all these questions, and it's great.
Well, there's some stuff you'd never guess. Like, for example, in that same subject as to how we picked, the fake client. They had me thinking. Okay, we went through several possibilities before we ended up with the one that we settled on. They had me trying to figure it out. So first thing I thought was, okay, I've got a close friend up in Ohio who I have promised that I would sell him a show for at a very discounted price because he's always helped me with electronics and stuff. I give him a real discounted price on a show. And we had never really talked about what that would be, but we knew that someday he was going to get one of my last shows.
Okay.
And so I thought maybe this is the time to send James his show up in Ohio.
Right.
Maybe this is, put everything together. This would be when I should send James his show. So I get in touch with James, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I don't have anywhere to put it right now. I'd have to rent a shop for it, but I'd like to do it. I don't want to miss my chance to get it, especially if they're going to pay for shipping." So this is what they said. They would pay for the shipping and James would get his show. And I thought, oh, this is great. Everything's coming together just perfect. Well, turns out behind my back, they were dealing with James directly.
No.
And telling James he was going to have to pay $1,400 for shipping.
Oh, wow. That is grimy.
Yeah. Now, I'd forgotten all of that until I went back and reviewed those emails that I mentioned a little while ago. And I saw the drama that unfolded. In fact, before it was over, James and I were no longer friends.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. It went totally in the toilet, as did our relationship. And he and I were working on like 10 projects together. And all of a sudden, we weren't even friends anymore after this supposed negotiation broke down.
Wow.
And James was getting screwed up one side and down the other. He was getting screwed by them, and he thought he was getting screwed by me.
Wow.
So James was pissed.
That sucks.
And I was pissed that I lost my friend James. Well, it's so funny though. When you get old, you'll see this happen. I went through though. That was 10 years ago. But I went through and looked, and James and I have had a pretty great relationship ever since then.
Right.
And I can't tell you without going back and reading all the messages where we went from not being friends over this shipping wars thing to being friends again. I just don't remember what happened, but we are.
Hey, good friends usually will get over pretty much anything, especially if they find out it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's because there's so much substance in James and my friendship. It's full of substance. So like even a misunderstanding about this shipping wars thing did not remove all the substance in our friendship.
Right.
So somewhere along the line, we got back together and said, screw that. Let's continue where we were.
I imagine it was over a conversation that had something to do with screw those shipping wars guys. Do you remember this?
Yeah, probably. I'll have to research that part of it. So anyway, though, James didn't end up being the person the show was going to go to. So the next idea I had as to who I started thinking, who wants a show? Now, of course, I wasn't thinking about sending a new show that's in crates. I was thinking, let's just make this as easy as possible and send my portable show that's already on dollies.
Right.
Yeah.
The one where the sign is on dollies, the characters are on dollies, the control system's on dollies.
It's your portable
dolly. Really
your
easy.
portable
just roll
show.
everything up on the truck. We secure it. Bada bada bing. We send it over there. Bada bada bing. They send it back.
Now, could you take the wheels off and attach 45-pound weights to the bottom of it?
Yeah. Well, we had another thing too that we had to overcome before we could make a deal on the shipping wars segment, and that was that I wanted to get paid.
That was a problem.
For some reason or another, they thought that I would be willing to do all of this for free.
Oh man.
Well, they probably are like, oh, we'll pay for the shipping, and you'll get on TV.
Yeah.
You'll get on the TV.
That's what I was
People love being
offered.
on the TV.
So Aaron, this is something
Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot in my life, and I'm sure Jeff and Bubba have told you too. They wanted to pay you in exposure.
Exposure. I love it. Jeff and I used to joke around about that. You know,
It's
And
you're
I
not going to
remember that
get
old
paid,
Steve
but you'll
Martin
get so
routine.
much exposure.
I thought that was a
I
bad
know.
thing.
I know. I remember the old Steve Martin routine back in the early, I don't know, late 70s when he said, when he was on Saturday Night Live and he says, hey, they promised me if I would do the show tonight, they'd give me some of this. And he had his like fingers up and he was rubbing his fingers together, kind of like the gesture you would make if you were indicating money.
Yeah.
But he just showed the gesture. They
Yeah.
promised me they'd give me some of this. And then he said, I sure wish I had asked for money.
That's great.
That's awesome. So listen, when Bushy said he saw you on that show, and keep in mind, Bushy is the world's largest skeptic when it comes to television.
I'd say pretty much everything.
Everything. When he sees something on TV, he's like, I know that's not the truth. That's not really what's happening. And so when he saw you, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll get the true story. But
Yeah.
funnier thing is in all this, a few months ago, so before we do the show, and you've been over, we hang out in
Yeah.
the lounge out of my bar, and we talk about the show before we come in and do the show. And so Bushy was like and me and him share music a lot. Same as you and I do. When we share like, hey, Aaron, have you heard this band? And you say, hey, Dirt, have you heard this? And we share stuff. So Bushy was sharing a song with me. We pull up the music video, and in the music video is the fucking Rock of Fire explosion.
I couldn't believe it. Do you know what song we're talking about?
Well, I know a couple. Was it MGMT?
Yes.
MGMT Electric Feel. And it was really funny because I had probably been listening to that song for 2 years, once every couple days or something here and there, however much you rotate in a song. But I had always been listening to it when I was driving. So even though I had listened to this song probably 50, 100 times in a couple years, I had never seen the music video until I was here on the porch with Dirt, and boom, here comes Rock of Fire Explosion in the music video. I was like, so there is some mystical connection between me and you and Dirt and Rock of Fire. Like,
there is.
It keeps popping up over and over in my life.
Just the fact that that Dirt is an Ilgen Fritz is so amazing. That's such an amazing connection for me.
Yeah,
it really is. Which reminds me, by the way, when are you going to put up that push-up contest on your website?
Oh, we've got the video.
You never put that up?
No, we have the video. I
figured that your dad. I figured your dad told you, do not put that
No,
video up.
here's the thing, Aaron.
No, it would be me.
No.
I'm the one that got embarrassed. Y'all both did more than me.
No, here's the thing.
Oh.
No, here's the thing, Aaron. So my dad is completely, and this is what's funny about it. My dad is completely fine with the push-up contest and the fact that you beat him and all that stuff. And it's funny because, and he is not like, no one stopped me from posting it. I just forgot I had it, so we'll post it. But the funny thing is, Kurt is the one that's telling my dad, I can't believe you did that. You set yourself up for failure.
See, Kurt has an instinct.
Kurt was telling him, he's like, I can't believe you agreed to that. You knew he was going to beat you.
Yeah, Kurt has a pool shark instinct.
Yes.
Well, I'm one trick pony. He probably wants to. He could kick my ass in like a million other ways, but that's my event.
Yeah.
Well, and I try to be a nice person. I consider myself a nice person. I've always enjoyed if I had a friend that I excelled in more things than they did. I would enjoy when they finally found something that they were better than me at. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's because you're a good. Yeah. I mean, that's part of being a good person is like supporting people in their wins. I mean, we're all better if we do that, right?
Like, well, whether it was like football or wrestling or running and all that stuff, I was really good. I suck at pool and darts, and like stuff like that. So my friends would always beat me, in that kind of stuff.
So there you go, Aaron. If you ever have a competition against Bushey, choose pool or darts.
Oh, if you get one ball in, you win.
Yeah, okay.
It's very easy.
Okay, I've made a note.
Oh man, Aaron, I love you, buddy. I knew this was going to be a good conversation when I brought it up earlier.
Well,
I text Aaron earlier
don't you want to
today.
know how much I got out of him?
Starting last week.
Oh.
No, I started texting Aaron last week when you brought that up on the show, and to prepare for him calling in this episode. Because when you said that, I'm like, oh, when he said I saw Aaron on the show, that's when I started texting Aaron, going, hey, this is Bushey brought this up on the show, and Aaron's like, oh, I have all these stories.
Oh no, this has been amazing. But what did you say? How much did you end up getting out of them?
Yeah. What do you think they paid me?
$1,600.
Okay. Any other guesses?
I will say 2,000.
Okay. Well, I asked for 10,000, and they about lost their bowels.
Oh man,
right. They're like, we'll find something else to ship.
Yeah, that's basically what they said. But I did finally agree on the lowest I would actually take for this job, which was $2,500. And that's when they turned around and told James that he had to pay for his shipment.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Man. I know.
That sucks. Anyway,
but the best thing, I tell you, the best scene that they did not put on, they should have put this on because Jen finally got a point on me. And it was very organic. It was an accident. And it was the greatest thing, and they should have let her have this point, but it did not show up on the show. What happened was, like I said, it was 8 o'clock in the morning when we got started. I don't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm usually a mess at that hour. And I was trying to get ready, and I can't really see that good till I get my contacts in. Well, anyway, somehow or another, I had put on one shoe from one pair and another shoe from another pair. I had mismatched shoes on for this. Okay, but nobody noticed it until I was sitting there giving Jen hell. I was saying, you wrap those wires up like a stupid bitch. And she,
damn.
I don't remember that.
And she looks at me, and she looks down at my shoes, and she says, oh, yeah, well, you got on mismatched shoes.
Yeah, how did that not make it in? That's great.
And the camera zooms down to my shoes, and I'm standing there with egg all over my face. And the camera pans back up to my face, and I'm like, okay.
What can I say now?
Okay, you're right. 100% right. But that don't mean you don't wrap them wires up wrong. Right. It was a moment of absolute hilarity.
That is amazing.
When she pointed out that I was wearing mismatched shoes, because that was so real. It was unscripted, and it was the perfect time for her to nail me back.
That is awesome.
That's so sad, because that means that they were probably like, oh no, that was too, we didn't script that. You know what I mean? That was
she got one up on him, so we can't air that.
Yeah.
Right. That was terrible. Yeah. And the other thing that you hadn't asked me too was how much did I get for the coat when the coat ripped?
No, I did.
Oh, no. How much did they pay for the coat ripping?
Well, okay, so let me see. I'm trying to remember how it happened.
Said, I do remember this part. They said, how much is it to replace the coat? And I want to say you said it was like $2,000 or $2,500 or something like that. And then she was like, well, how much is it for repair? And
yeah,
I think you said like $800. And then she's like, well, I'm not paying that. What about $500? I can't remember if you guys settled on $500 or $200, but it was in the hundreds.
I don't remember that. Was that on the episode?
Yeah. Yeah, that was that's the very end where you're paying out. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, the truth is, I don't remember the episode because, like I said, I haven't seen it in 10 years. But the truth is that they agreed to pay me for the value of the coat. I didn't want it repaired. I wanted the value of the coat.
Right.
And I was having my manager negotiate this for me. I said, tell him I want $1,200 for that coat. And then he went back and forth with him, and he finally got it. Now, it was really tough for him to get them to agree on it, and then even tougher for him to get them to pay.
Right.
We went back and forth on that many, many times until my manager practically had to threaten to sue them to get that $1,200 out of them.
That's crazy.
We did finally get the $1,200, but they acted like, oh, no, that was just for TV, where we said we were going to pay for it. I said, no, you signed an agreement that everything that I shipped was under an insurance policy. You have an insurance policy, and you can file under that insurance policy and give me the amount for that coat. Well, they probably had some deductible, so they probably had to pull that out of their ass. But that's what they had to pay, and they eventually did, and it was hell getting it from them.
Yeah.
Did you at any point tell them, like, hey, I have called Michael Jackson a nerd to his face? So don't think I won't do the same to you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You always have to end it with motherfucker, Aaron. That's the way.
Right, I know.
That's how you put your point across.
I will build an animatronic to come and kill you.
Well, there was one person that was very happy to see me mistreating this girl.
Who is that?
My girlfriend.
Why, she didn't think you had it in you?
Yeah, she didn't know it. She didn't think I could actually mistreat a girl that bad.
Boy, she's like, oh, that's hot. Boss me around, Daddy.
Well, no, she liked it, you see, because she's a woman, and she doesn't want to see me being friendly to any other woman.
Oh, yeah,
gotcha,
okay.
Gotcha. Sorry,
she'd rather me shut anybody down, like if a good-looking fan comes up and says, "Oh, Aaron, can I have your autograph?" She wants me to say, "Go fuck yourself."
See, I like freaky women, so I went the other direction of it. She was into the shaming. Tell me I don't know how to coil up wires like a bitch. All right, now slap me with them.
Oh, man. So I just want to say I just realized that we're having this whole conversation. For those of you who have not heard the show before, so we are talking to Aaron Fechter, and if you look him up, he has a Wikipedia page. Aaron Fechter, the man who invented Whack-A-Mole, the man who created Rock-A-Fire Explosion, Showbiz Pizza.
The man who did more push-ups than Dick Ilgenfrit.
Yeah. He beat my father in a push-up contest.
We need to get him a belt made.
Aaron, I'm going to get you a championship belt made that all it says is beat Dick Ilgenfrit at push-ups, and you can carry that belt over your shoulder like fucking Muhammad Ali when you walk in a building.
I will. Let me tell you something.
Okay, I will have that belt made if you will carry it with you everywhere you go.
It'll be cherished right there alongside of my wonderful, my guitar, how I cherish my guitar.
Yes.
It'll be one of the most cherished things in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I will do that. I won't even make it non-exclusive. It'll just say Ilgenfritz push-up champion. So that way you'll carry that belt until someone of my blood lineage takes it from you. And I'm going to tell you, Aaron, I'm unhealthy. So you will carry that belt for the rest of your life.
Well, just a quick review for anybody that doesn't know the story. Your dad, Dick, was the toughest guy in the neighborhood when I was growing up. And when I grew up in the same neighborhood as him, we rode the same school bus. And Dick Ilgenfritz was, he was the terror of the neighborhood. He could beat up anybody. He didn't. He wasn't a bully, but he could if he had to.
He said he was a protector, is what he said.
Yeah, he was a protector. He would actually, I think he would have stepped in and saved me if he saw me getting beat up by another bully.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Dick was a tough guy, and one day, just to be funny, he stuck a Slim Jim up my nose and into my brain.
Just to be funny.
And that's where Whack-A-Mole came from.
Yeah, just to be funny. And then he pulled off the piece that he stuck in my nose and threw it down the bus and started eating the Slim Jim. And I said, "Whoa, that's a tough guy. I wish I was that tough." So for the rest of my life, I've wanted to be as tough as Dick Ilgenfritz.
And so to train, in your house, you stuff Slim Jims up your nose just to get to the point where you're like, it doesn't bother you anymore, right?
It's funny because they actually trained me on getting stuff stuck up my nose with that
that pandemic virus thing they had a few years ago.
Yeah, they did the pandemic test on you, and it didn't bother you because you already had a Slim Jim way up in there.
That's right. I was broke in.
You're broke in.
I love that you walk in to get a COVID test. They're like, sir, this is going to be painful. We're shoving this pretty far up your. It's cool. I put Slim Jims up there all day long.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I got a Slim Jim shoved up my nose by the toughest guy in the neighborhood. I can take it.
I can take anything.
Yeah.
I got a belt.
Have you seen the look at the belt I'm wearing?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this belt.
Yeah, look at this belt. I'm okay.
I'm gonna wear it to my high school reunion.
I can take any swab you can dish out.
Oh my God! All right, Aaron, I love you so much, buddy.
Thank you, man. I love you guys too.
And I've got your Aaron. I have tables from the hurricane that hit down in Siskiyou. I've got your stuff here, and I'm promising you. Hey, it's been busy, but I've got you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The guitar and everything. I promise you. Number one, I can tell you 100%. That guitar is not damaged. We're gonna get that thing. That thing is gonna be 100%. And I'm gonna have to make a couple pieces to fix the table, but I can do it. So
that sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.
Your mom and dad's table, I've got it.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah. So don't worry.
You're really a savior to me on these things. You know.
Hey, that's what we do, right? We're mechanics. We're fixers in my family.
Well, you know, you can call on me anytime you need to.
Yeah, no, and I do. Like tonight when we were talking about Storage Wars. So
yeah, it's great.
And also, I love the fact that I know a man who I can consider a genius who has his own Wikipedia channel, his own Wikipedia page that says he's a genius because you created Whack-A-Mole, and I just saw Whack-A-Mole on a new show. So, okay, Aaron, Norman Lear, you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Norman Lear, his last show that he was producing is out now. I can't remember the name of the show, but George Wallace, the comedian, is one of the main characters, and it's Laverne Cox, who is the transgender woman who was in Orange is the New Black, and she comes home to Alabama to meet her father for the first time as a woman, and it's about them like their like awkward like relationship of like becoming a family again, and one of the things they bond over is playing Whack-A-Mole at the state fair. And it's actual Whack-A-Mole machine. And that's when I saw it, it's like, and Laverne Cox, who's a female at this point, but she was a little boy. And they flash back to her being a little boy playing Whack-A-Mole with her dad. And then it flashes to them being like current time, still playing Whack-A-Mole as adults. And that's what they bond over is playing Whack-A-Mole. And I'm like, holy shit, it's a fucking original Whack-A-Mole console from the original days. And I thought that was so cool that it's like now and 40 years ago, same machine.
You know, that means a lot more to me than you can imagine, because the thing, you know, I've been asked this question, especially there's a group of people right now that are writing a movie about my life story. And they asked me, like, how do you really measure your life? What did you do? And what did you want to do in your life? And the thing that I came up with was that I wanted to come up with things that would bring families together, fathers and sons. In fact, right now I'm working on an invention that will allow fathers and sons, or mothers, but mostly it's a father-son relationship I want to help build, where they're building things together. And in my case, they'll be building animatronics together in the garage. Yeah. And that's my goal in life, is that it's not that I want you to build or I want to sell animatronics or parts. It's that I want to bring fathers and sons together so that people can enjoy the relationship that like I had with my father.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome, man.
Very. I was about to say, it sounds like you learned some marketing from the Shipping Wars guys there.
Heartfelt sales.
Yeah. So just send me a deposit,
I'm just
and when I got it ready, I'll send you my kit.
Oh man.
No, that's awesome.
Oh. All right, Aaron, we're going to take a break, and but I appreciate you having. When I texted you and said I wanted to let Bushy know he was right. Yeah, you know what I was talking about, and and I was, as always, dude, we got to next time you're in Orlando, we'll get you back in the studio here.
Great, I'd love to.
All right,
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
All right,
I'll
Aaron,
talk to you guys later.
You have a good night. Tell your wife we appreciate your time.
Great talking to
I
you,
sure
dude.
will.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Good
All
night,
righty.
guys.
Bye.
Later.
Was that a surprise?
Very. A surprise, an excellent interview, a lot of cool insider information, and made the whole segment fly by. I mean, holy cow. I didn't even realize until you started saying something about, you were kind of like closing the segment out. I'm like, holy crap, we have been going for a little bit here. That was just so much fun. I love when the segment passes and you're like, it felt like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Everything was just flowing so well.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So here's what I'm going to do another one for you. Second segment. So I'm going to play a song going to break, and I'm not going to give you any context. All I'm going to tell you is, coming back from break, we're going to talk to an artist that, you know me, I like finding new artists that are doing new things, right?
Yep.
And being a touring artist, and this is me jacking myself off for all you guys who listen. All right, I've played music professionally for 25 years. I've toured, I've opened for bands you've heard of, I've played in bands you've heard of, all of that sort of shit. But what I get off on is hearing people who are doing something that I've never heard before. Interesting shit. So when I'm surfing, the most common app that I find this in is Instagram. I'll be scrolling through my Instagram and something will pop up and I'll go, what the fuck is this? And then I'll listen. And I'll go either or I'll just go past it. This one when I heard it, I go, this is interesting. What is this? And then I go down the rabbit hole and I found out more and more and more and more about it. And I go, okay, I need to find out where this came from. So I'm going to play this, going to break. And when we come back, we will find out more about this. This song is called 831 and the 253. And
Clearly a rap song.
I'm 831 in the 253. Your other bitches and hoes ain't got nothing on me. Yeah, baby, cause I am royalty. I'm the first fucking lady of the DBC. That's the douchebag committee. You could be half as nice and I would still love you twice. I would still roll the dice on you. Baby, are we really through? My brain needs a better glue. I need another you cause I'm double in love with you. Ooh, 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 ooh. You like me, I can't dance. And I need some romance in my pants. Something ancient, something sacred. Something, someone, something naked. It's my heart with you.
all right, we're going to take a quick break. This is Pop Culture Radio. We'll be right back.
Write your songs. I was born on the ceiling, born to feel this feeling. Blondes do not have more fun, and I do have a ton. Big dick addicted. I will always be your sick kid. Na-na-na. Na-na-na. Hair down, space bar, yeah, want your dad bod, hard day, piano fight, work that dad bod all night. Let me see that thing swing, yeah, you do your dad thing, na 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 na. My heart is hamburguesa, yeah, my brain like linguiça. Let me see that baked potato, shaking, bacon, making me go super cutie, super booty, sweet on me like tutti, fucking fruity, na 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 na. Chop shop, crop top, do me flirty, don't stop, mix it up, mix it tight. make it
Welcome
soft,
back,
make
Pop
me
Culture
fight.
Radio.
Hot knife, red flame, baby, play my blame.
So this song,
Make me get that floor gas and make it cry.
this is the song. So we were talking before break. I played you the other song. And this is the song that was popping up on my social media all week long.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. This is song is targeted towards us.
So
I never had a theme song till now.
okay, so I reached out to this artist. So I'm just gonna say, when it comes to
You call up, you're like, hey, I got a dad bod. Want to talk to us?
no, not that was my intention at all. My intention was I've played music for a long time, and I run a record label, like independent record. I when it comes to music and like what's interesting, what's poppy, and like what catches people's attention, I'm so trained in on the stuff that's weird. And that's what I like. I like when I hear something and I go, there's no reason why this is popping up in my feed right now.
I'm telling you, it's the dad bod thing.
I love it.
They probably heard
I
me,
love it.
Heard me
and
say
so
it around
when I
you.
hear, like when I find a fellow weirdo, and I'm saying that a fellow weirdo, when I go, this is weird as fuck, and I'm 100% down for it. That's what I found in this, and so I reached out, and we have on the line Sam Cori. Sam, are you there?
I'm here.
Sam, I hope you don't take offense to me calling you a weirdo.
I take great pride in it.
I mean this is the queen of the dad bods. She has to love weirdos.
So I introduced your music to so Mr. Bushey. He's known by the rap name PCR Bush. He's also a published rap artist. And
That was just loosely.
you have one single.
I have a joke song we did. It is published, and I appreciate that. But
You want a label?
I feel like I am. I feel like you're pumping it up a bit too much, though. I mean, we're talking to someone with talent here.
Well,
Okay, so here's my question, Sam. What was your and just throwing this out there? I am a guy in Orlando, Florida, who has played music most of my life. I'm 47 years old. I have toured since Bill Clinton was president. So we're talking about a long time. And for some reason, the last 2 weeks, you have been filling my feed.
really?
On my social media, and I don't know why. And
That sounds dirty to me.
no,
You've
listen,
been filling
listen.
my feed.
And I'm not upset about it because it's amazing. I've listened to everything you've put out. I listened to all your Spotify stuff. I've went down the rabbit hole of your YouTube, and I don't know why that you were pushed towards me, but I'm happy about it. I'm because I found a fellow weirdo in this, because I feel like your music is a combination of like jazz improv and Second City improv. Like you're just like in that middle where I feel like if I heard your songs 3 nights in a row, all 3 nights, it would be different.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, sorry, I am getting over a cold and it's like endless phlegm. So I'm sorry. I will like be
Okay,
a little bit of the crickle crackle. I definitely have a theater background. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little theatrical. I also, a lot of my live shows I do, like, I don't know if you found my David Duchovny raunchy rap, but basically I watched all of the seasons, all the episodes of The X-Files, and wrote this like 7-minute epic rap set to the beat of Gangster's Paradise, and and then dressed up as Spooky Samantha Mulder, my own X-Files character, and like I do that kind of thing a lot.
That's incredible, though.
I look at it. It's kind of like a full circle thing. You know, you're talented at the piano, the musical part of it, the entertainment part of it, the showmanship, improv, and you can kind of rap a little. It seems
Thank
like.
you.
So I mean, how does it feel to be ultimately talented?
Oh my God. I don't know what to say to that. I'm just weird. You know, it's, I think that doing theater a lot, I really loved, are you Stephen Sondheim people? Do you guys like theater?
Oh, yeah, I do.
No.
Keep in mind, my wife used to work for, she was a contortionist for Cirque. Yes. So, and also I have been made to watch Rent so many times, I can't even count. And I don't even like Rent, but that's like her favorite play, so I watched that one. But I was a stand-up comedian. I toured as a stand-up comedian and as a musician for like the last 30 years. So like anything that falls into those realms, I'm totally down.
Hell yeah. Well, doing theater, I definitely found a niche in the patter songs, where it's like, it's not really rap, but it's like as close as musical theater gets to rap.
Yeah, you're following tempo.
Yeah, right? And so that ended up being... So I ended up doing this musical by Tom Lehrer. Tom Lehrer, do you know Tom Lehrer? He's like... So, right, 50s, 60s, outrageously funny piano guy who inspired Weird Al, and also he created the Jell-O shot.
Yes.
And so I did his like musical review where I had to rap the periodic table of elements in like 30 seconds. And so once I did that, it kind of became my thing. And I ended up kind of doing like a little mini tour of that play in San Francisco. And I just did it a hell of a lot of times. And then when my songs started happening, I was like, well, what if I do this faster? And what if I do it even faster? What if I do it even faster? And it just turns out that dick jokes become funnier and funnier the faster that you do them.
Right. Well, you can cram more of them in a shorter time.
You can get more in there. Yeah.
The shorter the dick joke, the more you fit.
Yeah.
100%. Also, heavy emphasis on the food-based sexual innuendo. That it's the never-ending dick joke. Like if it's about food, they love it.
It's the eggplant that keeps on giving.
It's the eggplant because the baked potato. Yeah.
So
the grits, but then you can say it's just, even if you just say it suggestively. Like I've got a song where I say, drink my sangria, and then the audience dies, and I'm like, it's not even, it's just the way I'm saying it that is making them think that it's sexual. Anyway.
Okay, Sam, I used to for years, because I'm from Florida, and I'm from Orlando. So Orlando is not Florida. Just letting everyone know, we are the we are the blueberry in the sea of like tomato soup. So when I say like
back
Florida
to the food stuff,
yeah, well, not getting political about this, but we're pretty like progressive here in Florida. But I used to do this like redneck character when I was doing comedy, and I used to say the word vagina. When I would say it, I was talking about women don't know what they're doing with their vagina. And when you say vagina, it makes everyone laugh. It's no different, but I'm just saying the word incorrectly. And people laugh at the fact that some guy is such an idiot. He doesn't know how to pronounce vagina, and he's saying it incorrectly, and then people laugh at it. So when you say that line you were saying, like when you say something funny or you put inflection in places where it shouldn't be, that's like key like comedy shit. Like that's great.
Well, what I love is, like she said, you're using a word that has never been used to describe a particular thing. Yeah. To describe that particular thing. Nobody's made that association yet.
Yes, and I'm like, wow, look at all of the associations that have never been made. Like, right. Freaking free for all.
Well, it's great. It's great when the ones you're trying to make have no root in logic. You just go anywhere you want.
Yes. I'm like, I'm like, let's make the gravy, let's make the grits, and they're just like, oh my God. Like, wow. Okay, so all I have to do is just open my fridge and press record on my phone.
Climb the ladder to my basement. What?
So the question being, one of the questions I have is, so in the past couple of weeks, have you been seeing like an uptick in like people reaching out to you, or am I just like some random weirdo?
I've gotten some. I mean, honestly, no, I have had that. I've had a good amount of that recently, and then my buddy who's basically he's my manager. He mixes my tracks. He got me this wonderful opportunity where I just got to open for the Crash Test Dummies, which was definitely the coolest
I saw
thing.
That video. That was fucking incredible.
That's great.
Oh my God, they are so amazing.
Can I just tell you, kind of in the same million years, I got to play guitars for Sean Nelson from just forgot the name of the band, Harvey Danger. not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
Harvey Danger, paranoia.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got to play guitar in that band for one song. But yeah, so it's cool when stuff like that happens, when things come up. And also that same show I opened for Coolio. That was like 2
hell
years
yeah.
ago. Yeah, that was a
Yes.
couple years ago before he passed away. But no, it's weird how shit like that happens. Like you get a gig.
Did they incorporate a song with you guys together, or you just opened for them? Or I mean, either way is cool as shit. I'm just curious.
For me, so my buddy Lucas, my manager, he found me on the internet. That was my segue into this. He just found me. He said that I popped up in his thing. He booked me at a festival in Snohomish, which by the way, I'm from Tacoma, Washington, and which comes up in a lot of my songs. And I just opened for them, but they were lavishly kind. Like, they listened to my whole set. They didn't have to do that. They were, really attentive and talked to me and gave me like specific feedback about my songs and liking it. It was just beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was lucky.
Did you just walk up and go, oh? I feel like if I was to meet him, I wouldn't be able to help myself. I just have to do that.
I mean, I was definitely shy, but Ellen, like talking to Brad was surreal. It was surreal talking to all of them, but Ellen is weird like me. So we really couldn't stop talking. So that was a highlight for sure.
Well, what you're gonna find, Sam, is a lot of the people that you meet in this industry are weird like you.
Well, fuck yes, bring it on.
That's why we all end up where we're at, is because we're weird like you.
Hell
We
yeah.
don't have a place in the world. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. We all do have a place in the world, but there's not a specific corner that we fit into that isn't performing
Well, Tacoma.
and
So-
doing
no,
some sort of weird shit. I mean, that's what we do. I will tell you a funny story.
Hold up.
So you can
she's from Tacoma. You should just start wearing all Toyota Tacoma gear every time you perform.
dress up like a Tacoma
Like a
pickup.
Tacoma hat, Get one flat brim. Snapback.
So I will give you a quip that I think that you'll find funny. So Mr. Bushey, so first of all, most of the time when we do this show, there's more people than just me and Mr. Bushey. Owen and Brittany, who are the other two on the show, they are a couple. Owen and Brittany have welcomed 2 children into the world in the last 14 months.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
It's banging them out, literally.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so they're not here tonight. But Mr. Bushey, funny story is Mr. Bushey came to the show, and within 1 week time, and I have a lot of people who listen to the show, whether they be old music people, music friends of mine or comedy friends of mine or whatever. Mr. Bushey made a comment on our September 11th show a few years ago.
Oh, shit. I forgot.
When we said, do you remember where you were on September 11th? And Mr. Bushey said, I remember where I was when Taco Bell discontinued the Mexican pizza. And that spurred...
Well, everybody's going around the table telling all these depressing-ass stories. I'm the new guy. I'm like, this shit's supposed to be funny, right? So when it came to my turn to tell about where I was during 9/11, I brought up Taco Bell.
So that spurred our comment section. And Frank Verderosa, who is the producer of Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, who, rest in peace, Gilbert, was listening that day. And it turned into a big thing where now Mr. Bushey and Frank have a whole Mexican pizza thing going on. But
You made it sound weird. We don't have a whole Mexican pizza thing going on.
But I think it's funny that
A friendship spawned from Taco Bell.
until that point, you didn't know that you had a place in the world until you met Gilbert Gottfried's producer that had a thing for Mexican pizza like you do, you found your place in the world. It's Mexican pizza with Gilbert Gottfried's producer.
I was about to say, I liked the fact that I didn't know. I was like a babe in the woods. I knew nothing of this world until I made a Taco Bell joke about 9/11. What the?
Sam, can you understand where I'm coming from?
I think I do. I also, I also definitely would rock that merch.
Oh.
So, do you do a lot of shows, or like what's your What's your week look? So, are you an open mic performer? Do you perform like solo? Like what's your gig?
I mostly perform solo. I do a lot of shows. I've done a lot of shows. I would in the last year. I don't do theater anymore just because it's like it's not. I need to do my own.
Right,
content.
right.
So I think that the next step, and I've got my cronies and my homies that are gonna help me. But I think that like a kind of a one woman show thing is sort
That's
of
what it
I'd
feels like.
Yeah, I'm theatrical already. The little like banter in between the songs, like the little lead-ins that I do are also kind of solidified. And I've kind of got this like 90s nostalgia thing that I'm passionate about. And a lot of my songs have references to stuff from the 90s or what it felt like being a 90s kid. So, these characters maybe filming like some commercials, and then in my costume changes, we project like weird parody commercials. We've had talks of maybe having like a waffle iron on stage, and I'm like making waffles for the people in the audience, like just something.
That's amazing.
Hey
That's
guys,
amazing.
come for dinner in a show.
Right? It's like dinner theater, but in a
Or
way that
come
you've
for a
never
show.
even.
Come for a show.
Stay
Stay
for
for
the dinner.
breakfast.
I like the idea that you like finish your content, the show's done, but not everybody got a waffle yet, so you're there for 2 fucking hours afterwards making waffles and be like, I didn't think this through all the way. There's 2,000 people here. I got one fucking waffle iron.
Oh my god!
That's incredible.
4 in the
Definitely,
morning.
though. I mean, I could see a fire happening every night. So.
That's so good.
So with your song content, is it so the songs I've heard? Do you just like? Is this improv? Like, do you just like come? So you start playing a riff and then just like freestyle, because it feels like a freestyle, but obviously, lyrically, it's way more composed than a freestyle. So like, where does that come from? Like, I'm curious of the writing process here.
Okay. I wish I was cool enough for that to be a freestyle. It's definitely 100% scripted. The improv element is only just the way that I present it. I changed the inflection, the emphasis, weird pause moments. Those are the only things that I shift in show to show. So I think that I try to make myself laugh at myself. I try to make myself laugh when I'm writing. Try to make myself laugh at myself. I get like a seed of an idea, and then I think I try to just spin it as stupidly as possible. And
Okay.
that's what makes me giggle. And, I never know if people are going to respond to it. Like when I wrote Dad Bod, I didn't know. I remember I posted the video on the internet, and I was like, I could just get. No, I was like, I could get burned to the ground for this. Like, my mom is gonna see this. Like, what is going on? And I actually created an alter ego and started. I got wigs and an outfit because I was like, I'm gonna have to create another character to perform these raunchy, ridiculous things because I can't possibly just be me. But then after enough time, you don't care anymore. And it's like I can't hold on to that. It's just I have to out myself as the raunchy rap freak. So,
great.
yeah, and like I loved the Duchovny thing because I was like, oh my god, I can be lazy in bed eating Cheetos, and that can be my work. It's my job, and I'm gonna make a creation out of this, and it's gonna work for people. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what your future plans are, but I know in Orlando here, we have a giant scene of just weirdos performing stuff, and we have
We got the Fringe Fest.
the
here
Fringe
and all that.
Festival, independent theater, and live music venues, and like all this weird. So me, I'm 47 years old. I have been performing since I was 17. So for 30 years, I've literally just been doing weird ass dumb shit. Literally, I dream up some dumbass like douchebag character, create a show around it, shop it. Like that's that's like my life.
Tell her the show that you guys just did this past Fringe. You tell it.
Do you have a douchebag character?
Sam, I will send you. I will. It's not like something that's you can't search this on YouTube, but I have a private link I will send to you. So the last show every year in May in Orlando we have the Fringe Festival, where it's independent theater where a bunch of independent playwrights write their own shows and perform them. And so I am part of a theater group called the Crack Rock Opera.
Love it.
And we've been doing this opera for 11 years. Well, it was 14 years, and every year it's a different show. This year was called Danny Feedback to the Future, and the idea of the opera was we're playing our feedback-infused show, and then someone steals our Danny's foot pedal, and we have to go back to the future to find out like how to play rock and roll again. And so we go back to 1955.
Fast forward to the end of the show. Dirt's dressed like Doc Brown in a pink polka dot bikini.
Oh yeah.
No, that was
we have to find the assailant, the one who stole the pedal. Yeah, and so but the best part is we over the course of this, the entire audience is brought along with us, and they're investigating with Dick Tracy to find out who stole it. And every step of the way, we're like, "Oh, we're traveling through time. Put on this scarf. Put on these glasses. Put on this." And by the end of the fucking play, we go. We have a what do you call it? A composite sketch of the thief, and we put it on the screen, and he's wearing all the stuff the whole audience is wearing. So the entire audience is yeah.
Yeah, no, very, very good with audience participation. They even have like jars that you smell, and the last one is like, fart spray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's fart spray?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. The whole thing was Elvis, the ghost of Elvis, was guiding us through this journey, and at the end he's like, "Do you want to know how I died?" And when the audience smells the last jar, it's straight up fart spray. When they smell it, everyone yelled, and we actually had an old lady yell at us and go, "This smells like shit!" and then the ghost of Elvis comes on the screen and goes, "Yeah, I died on the toilet. How did you not know that?"
My favorite part of everything is it's in Orlando, but most of the art community I feel like is old Winter Park money. So it's like all these like, I'd say at least half of the people that attend these things are like 50, 60, 70 plus old money. And to watch some of these people, it's like, well, they definitely didn't know what they were in for.
I'm telling you though, the older people, the older they are, the dirtier their mind is, and the more they love the raunchy shit.
Apparently so.
So my wife is in the comment section right now of the live stream, and so what she wants me to bring up, and she wants me to tell you about, and this is supposed to be me interviewing you, but she wants me to tell you about a character I used to play called Salmonelli. And and so Salmonelli was the character I created 10 plus years ago, and it was basically like have you ever seen Tony Clifton?
No. But
okay,
wait,
do you know
Salmonelli, like Salmonella, Sally Manelli?
Exactly. Yes,
exactly.
Yes, very close,
so
very
good.
close. So, do you know who Andy Kaufman is?
Yes.
Okay, so Andy Kaufman used to do this alter ego character called Tony Clifton, and it was a character in like powder blue like tuxedo with the ruffles and stuff, and he was supposed to be like a lounge singer, but he was terrible at it. And he would just croon along like terribly to songs, and he always like threw a fit and knocked stuff over. And like he was on the Dinah Shore show one time, like back in the 70s, and he like threw a pot of spaghetti on Dinah Shore and said, "I'm out of here," and he was like storm out and like that sort of shit.
Wacky.
Yeah. So I created this character 10 plus years ago called Salmonelli, and what I would do is I would take all the Frank Sinatra songs and write parodies of them because I can mimic Frank Sinatra's voice. So I recorded these albums of me singing Frank Sinatra songs, but with terrible, filthy, fucking terrible lyrics to them, and I put them out, and then I toured around like the tri-state area, like up north, and I was doing these shows where people didn't know if it was a real person or not. And so like I did fly me to the moon, or slide me in your poon. And I was like, and I would do a loveless marriage, loveless marriage, loveless marriage. Tell the cops that you fell down the stairage. And yeah, and all the songs are terrible. But I would tour on that, and all the writers would say, "Do not look Mr. Minnelli in the eyes." And we just had these writers where it's like I created myself into this character where I was like, this has gone a bit too far. Like I don't know what to do with this anymore. So then it got to a point where in Orlando we have a giant gay community here, and I was like hosting like Miss Parliament House, where it was like their drag events, where it's like
I was singing sex with every gay man in Orlando just for the bit.
Just for the bit,
yeah, just to sell it.
No, but it's like
you got to go the whole 9 yards.
I mean, you can't back out at that point.
Yeah,
but
or you backed onto the point.
Yeah. But it was like they would be like doing like Miss Parliament House was just like their like Miss America for the drag queens, and I was like hosting that. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it because it was like we would do these shows where people had no idea who the fuck. Like I could literally walk in there and be the biggest dickhead in the world, and they just expected that. It was weird. It was so weird. But my wife loves that. So the first time that we ever did, I had ever did an event with her, I had told her going to the event, I said, listen, you need to understand something. Once we get there, I don't know you. And she goes,
when you see me having sex with other women, you don't know me.
not like
it's
that.
In character. It's in character.
Not like that. But I literally had to. I was in costume, and we're on the way to the gig, and I was like, listen, I'm a piece of shit, right? And I'm going to treat you like I'm going to be a piece of shit. And you need to understand. And so this thing, I'm always the guy that opens the doors for women and all that other shit. We got to the venue and I got out of the car. I walked across the fucking parking lot and just left her there. And she's like following me. She's like, follow me across the parking lot. And she's like, and I'm like, I told you, I'm a fucking piece of shit.
You should have hired someone to be nice for you. You hire someone just to follow you around open doors.
We got to the door, and I walked up the door, and there was a guy that was checking like IDs at the door, and he goes, and you are? And I go, I'm Sal Minnelli. I'm here for the gangbang. And I walk right past the fucking guy. And then my wife was right behind me, and she goes, Sal Minnelli +1.
So if you ever want to come to Orlando and get in some hijinks,
it sounds like Orlando is like where it's at.
A little bit.
It's a fun time, man. But so let me ask you this: so you have one album out on Spotify. Was that something that was self-produced, or like something you worked on your own, or like what's the deal behind that?
So my buddy Lucas, the ones that have a lot going on, like more than just me and the instrument, my buddy Lucas did extra instrumentation and mixed it and did cool shit. We're going to release an EP from it's just the whole set at the Crash Test Dummies because it was such a perfect live audience moment.
So we're gonna,
yeah. So we're gonna do that, and then I am trying to put together a double Titanic themed album that is half the songs feel like they are above, and half is like sunken ship vibes.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, kind of on theme with weirdness and 90s. So
that's awesome.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have an artist that you... okay, so this is going to be a tough one because I can't think of one, but you know you. Is there an artist that you relate yourself to where you go, that's my girl, or that's my guy, or like that's my like style? Like, who's your influence in all this?
I mean, if there's one person, it probably... I didn't even realize it until recently, but it is probably Tom Lehrer. Like, he's
okay. Right.
He's a piano comedy freak, and he was kind of the OG raunchy piano rap guy. And he's just kind of baked into my psyche because of how many times I performed his show. But I'm all over the map. Like I grew up doing classical piano, and I love me some Beethoven. Who doesn't? Beethoven was also raunchy as fuck. They all are.
Yeah.
And I'm also a big Regina Spektor fan. If there's a lady, it's probably Regina Spektor.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
just curious, like when Dirt first showed me the dad bod thing, I was like, oh, she kind of reminds me of like Bo Burnham. Do you know Bo Burnham or?
Yeah, I'm really bad. I do get that sometimes because I guess he's like a piano comedy dude.
Right. And I'm not trying to pigeonhole. You guys are very different. I'm just saying like that's kind of the presentation. You know, what I mean, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Quirky, funny piano.
It's a compliment. I just haven't listened. I've been bad. I haven't listened to his stuff much. I've heard a couple of songs, but I haven't like sat down and absorbed his discography, which I don't do.
I don't look at it as weird or bad at all. I actually was a huge fan of talk radio and podcasts. I stopped listening to all talk radio and podcasts about a month after I started being on one because I didn't want to feel like I was pulling jokes or themes or ideas from other shows or people.
I relate to that. I relate to that big time. I am an audiobook narrator, but I've never listened to an audiobook.
Right.
Like not one single audiobook. I tend to watch the same things over and over again and listen to the same things over and over again. I don't branch out into new stuff very much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense if you're creative and you're creating your own entertainment in your mind and you're always putting stuff together. You probably don't need all the external input of new stuff.
Yeah, I just need the things that I create.
I am so talented. Fuck everything else entertainment. It's all about me. And my stuff is the shit. And I occasionally watch, Shipping Wars.
Yeah. I just video myself and watch it back, and that's really all I need.
Sam, did you hear our first segment by any chance?
I did not.
Okay. So I want to throw something at you. This might be something. So are you a 90s kid by chance?
I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah, she was all into the 90s stuff.
So do you remember Showbiz Pizza?
No. What is that?
The prequel to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. So once this episode posts, or even when we're done, so Showbiz Pizza was the original Chuck E. Cheese before Chuck E. Cheese bought it out. So the guy who created like all the animatronic bands and shit like that, the guy who invented Whack-A-Mole, you know that game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went to high school with my father. So we have him on the show from time to time. He invented Whack-A-Mole. He invented like what we know as Chuck E. Cheese or the Rock-afire Explosion. There's tons of documentaries you can find online about him.
Yeah, he was early on in anybody inventing animatronics.
Yeah, back in the like late
robots
70s.
That would move and say, just to give you an idea how early, it wasn't like computer programming. They actually had to do all the programming on punch cards that they inserted into the machines.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Mr. Bushey rolled over a few mornings ago, woke up, packed a bowl, lit it, and saw an episode of Shipping Wars in which this man that we're talking about, Aaron, was on the show, and he's like, I knew this was bullshit. He's being mean to a pretty girl. This is all bullshit.
Aaron is an extremely nice gentleman, nice to everybody, not just pretty women. And I already knew that, of course, most reality TV is bullshit. But I was just, curious as to how much was bullshit. Was there any reality in Shipping Wars? And it was really funny to, like Dirt said, wake up one day, turn the TV on, and there's someone that I have a connection to that was actually on the show. So we interviewed him last segment about being on Shipping Wars and how it was all fake.
Wow.
I thought it was funny. It was like, yeah, is it true or not? It was like, no, we just saw a guy we know, and he's being a dickhead on that show. But it's like, that guy's not a dickhead, so we know this show's fake. Yeah. Oh, I have another one. As an 90s kid, you watch a lot of Power Rangers when you're a kid?
Oh, yeah. Red Ranger all the way.
Okay. So I have a theory. Okay, so when you watch Power Rangers, when they're in their suits and they're fighting and everything, right? So
all boners.
Okay, that show was made in two different production companies, because all the fighting stuff with them in the suits was shot in Japan. Then all the stuff with the actual people out of the suits was shot in the U.S. with a different production company, right? So when you watch this show, yes, oh yeah.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
it's
know.
like
I
two
didn't know.
shows. It's not the same actors in the suits.
No, it was the people in the suits was shot one time in one place, and then all the other countries that shot their own parts of it were, they shot their characters.
My childhood is crushed.
Okay.
I thought Tommy could kick some ass.
Here's the thing. So
It's madness.
one of our other recurring guests, Chris, movie guy Chris, he pointed it out to me, and he was like, "Why does it always seem like when they're not in the suits, it's a different show?" And I'm like, so then I looked it up. I'm like, that's why. But when you watch Power Rangers, when they're in the suits and they're fighting, awesome, great. When they're not in the suits, looks like a bad porno. Like I'm waiting for the pizza guy to show up. That's why. That's why. Is because it was shot in a different production studio.
How much does that suck to have to be one of the Power Ranger people, though, that were just like the actors and not, you weren't the person in the suit, you weren't kicking ass, you know what I mean? Because kids were coming up to you like, hey, do the move.
Oh my god.
Like, I can't. I'm not Asian. I have no fighting prowess at all.
I have no skills.
That kind of rocks my world. I'm gonna need to do some rewatching.
Sam, look it up. I'm telling you, it's like every day I wake up and I found out people got a problem with Dre. What? No, that's the line from the song. Oh. No, every day I wake up and I find out something I knew. I think every day I wake up and find out something I knew as a kid is not true.
Oh damn!
That's the curse we have as '90s kids. We were taught so many things that aren't true, and now the rest of the rest of our life is figuring those things out.
And now we're all creative and make weird, goofy music.
I'm going to tell you, Sam, your shit is dope as fuck, and I hope you keep doing it. And I'll stay in touch with you, because when you create more shit, I definitely want to have you back on the show. And if for any reason you ever find yourself in Florida, hit us up. I'll help you get a show. I'll book you. I'll help you out any way I can. But I really dig what you're doing. I think it's funny shit.
You guys are fun. I'll come down there. How far are you from Disney World?
We live here.
Less than an hour.
Yeah, we're in Orlando.
Tight.
Like, we're literally here.
Tight, sold.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good hotel rooms around and shit.
Yeah, and we have a dope-ass improv scene and a dope-ass comedy scene and all that shit. Like, yeah, we just kind of live in an entertainment mecca. It's like once you can't play Goofy anymore, then now you work up there at the improv comedy store.
She's too attractive to actually have on the show, though.
What's that?
Oh, I'd shut you guys down?
Yeah, no, when you showed me the dad bod video, I normally come in here just all frumpy. Like, there is a video aspect to the show, but I'm like, whatever, who cares? And then you show me the dad bod video, and I'm in the bathroom putting water in my hair and shit before you were going. I was like, she sees this. I do have the bod of a dad. You have to shoot my shot.
Listen, it's a movement. We're canceling the gym. Abs were a bad fad, and now we're canceling the gym.
Sam, I got a good one for you. One of my buddies told me the other day, I'm talking to him on the phone, and he goes, "Yeah, sorry, I'm leaving the gym." And I'm like, "You work out now?" And he's like, "No, man, I can't take a shit at any place but home. But recently I found out that Planet Fitness bathrooms, I can take a shit in them."
Wait. Wait, he can't take a shit at home, so he has to have a gym membership to shit in the gym bathroom?
No. He can take a shit anywhere but home. His home is the only place he can take a shit. But recently, he discovered he can take a shit at Planet Fitness gyms. So he
What the fuck
bought.
are you talking about?
So he bought it. Listen. So he bought a membership in.
Forget about this story.
He bought a membership in Planet Fitness so that no matter where he's traveling, if he finds a Planet Fitness, then he can shit there.
What?
That's weird because I used to go to gyms a lot, and that is not like the pristine bathrooms. I mean, I don't like.
Dude, he flat out told me, he's like, man, he's
like maybe if he would have joined a cigar club or something, you know. Then...
He said they have showers, their bathrooms are clean.
So when he has to shower when he shits?
This guy, yes, every time he takes a shit, he has a shower.
What the fuck?
Sam, I wish I could tell you who this person is we're talking about, but I can't. But what I'm saying is this guy can only take a shit at home. And then he found out, oh, I can also take a shit at Planet Fitness. This is comfortable. And so now he has a Planet Fitness membership. He walks in full business attire, walks straight past the desk, straight to the bathroom, takes a shit, and walks right out. And people don't know what the fuck this guy's deal is because they're like, he walked in full business attire. He walked out in full business attire. What's he training for? We don't know. That's why. Because he just wants to take a shit.
It's a really creative way of sticking it to the man.
He's not sticking it anyway. He's paying the same price if he was training. He's paying the same price if he was working out.
Yeah, the man is sticking it to him, actually.
He's like, and if I need a shower, they have those too.
Yeah, I've never had to pay specifically per place just to go to the bathroom. I guess, is that a flex?
I don't know.
I'll shit anywhere.
I don't want to keep you too long, but Sam, what's the next?
I don't want to keep talking to her because I'm afraid she won't talk to us again if we keep going. I feel like it was pretty good up to this point.
What's the next theme for your next song? Like, do you have an idea of like where you're going?
Yeah, I am writing a Titanic themed song. I'm doing a Titanic themed show. There's going to be a Titanic piñata, and that is April. That's April.
I will say this: if you aren't performing on a piece of a door at some point, you're missing an opportunity.
There's definitely going to be a piece of a door. It might be flimsy cardboard, but the token aspect of it is going to be there.
You have to make it big enough where your co-star can fit, but not let them on.
Yeah, definitely. Spray them in pepper spray in the eyes to get them off.
I love that. You rip the what was it? The star of the what was the name of the heart of the
star of the day?
You gotta have that on.
Yeah,
but you gotta have that on and rip it off your neck like someone's chain snatching you, and then whip Leo off the door with the heart of the ocean chain you just broke off your neck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Definitely using that. Definitely making a music video. I can see it. Definitely. Done and done. Check.
You have the entire friend's apartment on that door, but he's not allowed. On.
Yeah, if you got like six people in the show, you bring everybody out to get on the door at the very end except for him. The curtain is just a big door.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right, Sam, we have to stay in touch. I definitely want to hear like more of like what you're doing in the future, but I definitely want you to be on the show again.
Let's do it.
Your shit is hilarious, and as an improv and comedy actor myself, like I love what you're doing because here's what's so funny to me is that I see these performances with you online, and I can see the audience, and I can see there's people in the audience that are like, we don't know what the fuck is going on right now, but then right behind them is two people losing their shit. And that's my favorite audiences ever. It's because those two people who don't know what's going on, those are the people I'm focusing on. I'm fucking throwing everything at those two people. and so I love like everything I've seen from your live performances and from your YouTube. That shit is hysterical to me. So
I'm glad.
I'm totally digging it. I'm definitely a fan.
Well, definitely then go listen to Moby Dick, raunchy rap about Moby Dick that I did at Town Hall Seattle in front of like 400 wealthy, civilized Seattle people. And it was a raunchy rap about whale dick, about a woman named Madam Big Dick who is on the hunt for the biggest dick on the planet. And it's
I take it back. Start talking about your buddy who doesn't shit in public. No, this has been great. This has been a great interview. Thank you so much.
All right, Sam, I'm going to send you the link for this after the fact. But I need to have you back on the show. And listen, if there's when we're booking a show, if we're booking a show coming forward, if I can put you on it, I'm doing that. So
we'll be on it.
Yeah,
I'll come down.
Yeah, come down and hang out. I'm sure everybody here will be more than happy to have you around.
Great. Well, I'm down. I'm down.
So let me ask you this:
high five.
So if going to break on your Spotify, the song Moby Dick, is that the song that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, okay, so that's what we're gonna play going to break.
Hell yeah! Oh my God, yes.
All right, we're playing that going to break. All right, so we've been talking to Sam Cori. Sam, you want to plug anything?
Hi, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is I am Sam Cori, Cori. Send me a message. I'll talk to you. That's it.
Be ready. There's going to be at least 1 to 3 messages. That depends on how many messages I decide to send you.
Dude, you're listen, I call people dude. I'm sorry, but no.
I do too.
No, she said 90s kid. Everybody's dude.
I know. Seriously, you're awesome. I love it.
If you come into now, then you got to call everybody bro.
Okay.
But
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, but in a really weird context, it makes no sense.
Yeah, no, bro is where it creeps me out. Dude, come on. Hey, dude, the show? 90s?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Christine Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
That's Ben Stiller's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's hot as shit, bro. Like, what do you not know?
I don't know. I don't know Ben Stiller's wife. I don't know why you're surprised by that.
Sam, I'm sorry for the unpreparedness of my co-host here.
I am sorry I am unfamiliar with Ben Stiller's wife. Will you ever speak to us again?
She was in Zoolander, man.
I should know that, but I didn't know.
Sam, thank you so much for giving us your time. I intend fully to keep up with what you got going on because I think it's really funny, and I think what you're doing is awesome. And hopefully, the next time we talk to you, you're going on stage at the Oscars.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Okay.
Say put it out there, right? Speaking in the world, let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, let's manifest.
You're gonna get a Tony.
All right.
Hey,
yeah.
Tony, an Emmy, an Oscar, an EGOT. You're getting the EGOT shit, right?
Yeah, they're gonna make a new category for waffle-based theater.
Waffle-based theater.
You know, I'm going to give you an idea for free. You can make a song called "Not Like Them."
Ooh. Okay.
That is fucking awesome.
You're welcome.
Well, gentlemen, you're cool. Thank you.
You're awesome. Great talking to you.
All right, Sam, you have a good night.
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye. Well, that was awesome.
That's fucking great. So we're gonna go to break. This is her song.
Let me hear some whale dick.
Moby Dick.
Call me Madam Big Dick, I'm hunting Moby Dick, 'cause out of all the Richards on earth, he's got the biggest prick. Harpoon in the lagoon, he found us so
Harpoon in the lagoon.
He's gonna kill your friends, then he'll swim up to my moon. All my means are sane, my motive and my object mad. I tell you straight, that white whale's the best dick I never had. He said, hold my dick, slang my wang. I'm Moby Dick, baby, I know how to let it hang. You know life is sick when you're always hanging Moby's thing's gonna make it go insane.
When you're always hanging brain.
It's not down on any map. True places never are. Want that Moby in my bedroom. Jumbo fish tank in my boudoir. Our moral greatness.
All right, you listen to Pop Culture Radio. We'll be right back.
I'm about my Moby, but every morning he leaves. Just as everyone knows, meditation and water are wedded forever. If I can't be wedded, I'll be bedded by that Moby brick and leather. I'm scorching, not quickly can I scorch a scar.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Radio. That's Sam Cori again with Douchebag.
Yeah.
Third segment, Doldrums.
Dol- what?
Said third segment, Doldrums.
What's a doldrum?
Doldrums, it's like sadness.
Ah.
We've
I
been
usually-
to 2 segments, and like 2 segments have been great.
They were. It's going to be kind of hard to follow that up. Do you have a third interview? Because I feel like
I don't.
I feel like this whole segment resting on our shoulders solely, it's going to fall off compared to what we
It's
just
tough
did.
in a lot of ways because what I want to talk about is near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
The shirt I'm wearing today.
All right. You like black dudes.
George Foreman. George Foreman passed away in the
Well, the cops killed him.
not George Floyd.
Oh.
George Foreman,
Oh.
the boxer,
That was a
passed
bad
away
joke. I
in
apologize for that.
passed away in the early morning hours today, and that's a big one. So I personally, I was a boxer. I trained as a boxer. I've competed as a boxer. A lot of the, I don't know, how would you say? A lot of the,
Your training.
no, it's just like my ideals,
Inspiration?
my ideals, and my inspiration of like who you should be as a person comes from boxers.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali, giant inspiration in my life, and George Foreman was one of those guys that was just like, he was who he was, but he was one of those guys like he accomplished things that he should not accomplish. Like, okay, so no one before him or after him has regained the heavyweight championship 20 years removed. He lost the world heavyweight championship to Muhammad Ali in 1974 in Zaire. Won it back in 1994. That's the shirt I'm wearing here. 20 years difference. Became the world heavyweight champion again.
That's crazy.
And the fight, like I remember watching the fight with my father and hearing the commentators in that fight going, "Oh, it's a shame. George doesn't have it anymore. He's too slow. He's too old." And then bam, pop, knockout. It happened. Like, they talked so much shit about him this entire fight. The entire fight, all they did was talk shit about how George didn't have it anymore. And then, bam, one punch, and George's the fucking champion again.
I hear things like that, like, oh, he reclaimed his title 20 years later. I'm like, I don't like getting up now. It's like, and 20 years ago I was 24. So I feel like I should have more accomplishment.
The thing was, he was wearing the same trunks that he wore the day he got knocked out by Muhammad Ali.
Well, that's why the dude got knocked out. He could smell them fuckers.
No, but
20-year-old Muhammad Ali.
The day
sweat
he
trunks.
knocked out Michael Moore, he was wearing the same trunks he was wearing the day that he got beat by Muhammad Ali.
Yet again, I don't think I could wear something that I owned 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, a lot of people go, oh, old, fat George Foreman. I'm like, he wasn't old, fat George Foreman. He was just old George Foreman.
What was his waist size?
Oh, probably 33, 34, somewhere in that range. He was a heavyweight.
Are you? See, it makes me laugh. What do you think my waist size is?
I know what mine is, so and I want to ask yours.
Well, no, I'll tell. What do you think my waist size is?
Mine's 38.
What do you think mine is?
42?
44.
Okay. All right, I'm close.
And that's tight. That's
hey, fat guys.
Yeah.
We got,
we got a whole song about us.
I'm just saying that, like, the crazy thing to me is, like, when people talk about old George Foreman, I'm like, he wasn't that old.
It's just when I hear you say heavyweight and then you say you had a 38 waist, I'm like, I would have been, what would I be as a boxer? An ultra fat ass weight?
So in boxing, it goes by weight, right? Anything 200 pounds and above is heavyweight. You're a heavyweight. I'm 220 right now, as we stand. But I'm 5'6".
Yeah, I haven't weighed myself in a while. If I had to guess, I'm pushing 250, 255, something like that.
Check the. Hold on. I'm going to play this audio. This is, to me, all right, I'm going to play this. This is the most, to me, this is George Foreman at the age of 45 knocking out a 29-year-old Michael Moore to become the world heavyweight champion. So think about that. Let's just
I don't want
pause.
I don't want to think about
Hold on.
this.
Let's just pause for a moment and think about this. At this moment in time, in 1994,
He was older than me.
in 1994, 45-year-old George Foreman defeated a 29-year-old world heavyweight champion on national television, on HBO, in a fight that was supposed to be Michael Moore just taking a tune-up.
Right.
Just taking a tune-up before he went on with his other fights. And this is what happened. And
Well, do you think maybe that was part of the reason he lost then? He didn't take it seriously?
no, well, yes. One answer, easy
least
answer.
partially, at least partially, yeah.
Yes, partially yes. But at the same point, if you catch a George Foreman right hand to the jaw, no one can fucking walk through that.
To give all
Watch
the
this.
credit in the world, but again, he's a 45-year-old man in a young man's game. But look at that competitive spirit coming out now.
Straight right hand landing for Foreman. He's had a pretty good round here in number 10.
Again, Atlas didn't counter. Atlas, here we go.
What round is this?
Round 10.
Okay.
That was it.
On a right hand. An
Wait, rewind that just a little
unbelievably
bit.
right hand shot.
Atlas, here we go again with the
There you go. Watch this.
Michael Moore. Is that
Down goes Moore on a right hand.
Wait till they show it replayed.
He must have caught him.
Right hand shot.
He must have caught
Here we
him
go
right
again with
on
the
the
Atlas.
temple.
Michael
He
Moore.
caught him
Is
right
that
on the
goes
jaw.
Moore?
Watch when you see it.
Right hand. An unbelievably close
That's
right
when
hand shot.
when you're big George Foreman, you're a big dude. It does not take a lot.
Well, I mean,
Watch when they show it.
Well, you should turn it down just
It
a little.
happened. It happened.
I mean, I'm sure you know as a boxer, you even had a little guy catch you on the right spot. It don't matter how small you are.
Yeah.
Someone hits you in the, you know Randy, he came on the
Yeah,
show and
yeah,
everything
yeah.
at one time.
Yeah.
Me and Randy used to spar. He was trained, I was not, and that was kind of the thing was I was bigger, and had more reach. So I was still athletic at the time. So it was fun because I was large and had reach but had no training, and he was, quick and small and had training. And more times than not, at some point, he'd catch me, on my temple, and I'd end up like on my knee, waking up. I never been knocked out, but I understand what it feels like. Pretty close. You know what I mean?
Right.
I lost my sense enough to drop to my knees and then kind of regained consciousness, or before I fell out. But yeah, no, people don't realize that it could be a lucky shot. I'm not taking away from him, but it definitely For being
Okay.
the 10th round and as slow as it looked like they were throwing punches, he must have caught him just right.
Okay, so here is the knockout. Okay, so this is from multiple angles, and this is the part that you don't see. So when you watch this right hand. We're watching two men fight. Hold on.
I like to do this.
This is so fucking great.
Started
Yeah.
in round 1.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. In like 20 minutes, we'll get to the knockout.
Was routinely thrown between 50 and 60
We're watching a fight while you all listening. But you'll see the right hand here.
Well, you'll hear.
Hold on. Yeah.
You'll hear us see the right hand here.
Hold on. I'm trying to move it.
This reminds me.
I'm trying to find a shot of the knockdown in multiple angles.
This reminds me that Aaron brought up that we were talking about a show on a show.
Oh yeah.
But he didn't talk about the fact that we were talking about a show on a show about him shipping a show. Faux show.
Here we go again with the Atlas.
Yeah, and that's not what we're looking for. All right, so I'm trying to find the knockout. Here we go. There's so many. Okay,
You can show me
so
later. I
fuck
can
up
take your word
fucking
for it.
YouTube. Yeah, I was trying to find the knockout from multiple angles, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So,
we'll check
anyway.
it out later.
November 5th, 1994, George Foreman knocked out Michael Moore and became the undisputed heavyweight champion, and he held that until he lost the belt to Shannon Briggs in 1997. So you think about from 94 to 97.
That definitely
George
proves
Foreman, yeah.
it proves that it wasn't a fluke or
No,
just a lucky
yeah,
punch
he
or
held
something.
it-
He retained the title.
He held it
versus
for
others.
3 years after the fact.
And versus other good boxers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd be remiss to say he did not fight the best of the best, but still, he fought, he retained, he fought who he was supposed to fight, and retained the title. So,
True.
There we go.
When will he fight Jake Paul?
He will not because he's passed away.
Oh shit! that won't stop Jake Paul. Jake Paul will fight a
Jake
dead man.
Paul will dig him
Jake
up. Yeah.
Jake Paul's next fight is going to be dead George Foreman.
That makes the most sense of anything you've just said.
Thank you. I'm a genius. $1 million purse. If George wins, they just bury him with it. He can donate it to his favorite charity.
All right, so we have a new segment this week. We have a new segment, and the segment was, I want to preface this in the best way possible. So, Mr. Bushey, who is a known online and mobile gamer, has informed me that some of the mobile games nowadays are very intrusive. They message you, and they tell you about your girlfriends, and they create girlfriends for you. Is that
Okay?
what it is?
So what I got
Okay,
going
so
on? What I
explain
got
to
going
me
on,
what's happening
Yeah,
here.
yeah. What I got going on in this particular game? It's the war game that I've been playing for a couple months now.
Yeah.
What I'm about to share is actually an extremely small part of the game. But in the game, you have commanders that lead your armies, and you can level them and make them stronger and shit, and they all have abilities and all that. I have never played a game where these commanders communicate with you through love texts.
Love text.
Yes. As you advance and get different commanders and stuff, there's a part of the game called the Villa. And you go to the Villa and you talk to your different commanders. And as I've said, they send you love texts.
So your commander's
So
trying to fuck
they,
you?
They are. This is a Korean game.
Yeah.
And let's just say that this was possibly typed out and then translated. Maybe the translations aren't great.
Who translated it?
Huh?
Who translated it?
Well, the game itself.
game does.
Well,
Okay,
like
okay.
I imagine they made it in Korean, and then it's just some canned translator. You know what I mean? We're not
Okay.
we're not talking
I
about.
just envisioned you with a piece of paper running after someone to translate.
No. Even I'm in a Korean clan in the game, and whatever they type is in Korean, and you just push a little button, and it automatically translates it for you.
Okay.
That being said, the translations can be really odd.
Okay.
But the way this is presented, the love texts are not something that is sent in Korean and then I translate. They're just sent in English, so to speak. But you can tell by the way they come off that it's lost in translation, or Korean dudes are really creepy. One or the other.
Okay, so is it people, or is it
No, it's just like a video game character talking.
Okay,
to you.
all right.
Yeah, no, it's not real people or anything. I'll put it to you this way: every single person that plays this game gets the exact same text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just a pre-made thing. It's another part they put in the game. But we're gonna do now a Bushey's AI girlfriends.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it. So this is Giselle, and Giselle says, "Commander, every time I see you, it reminds me of ... my ex." I reply, "Complacent? Are you flattering me? Saying I'm as handsome as him?" "No, actually, as sleazy as him. Eyeing every pretty girl, like a wolf eyeing meat." That was Giselle. Now back to me. "That's just how men are." Back to Giselle. "Can't resist all the beauty. Men are always like that. Eyes hunting, lips flirting, and hands all over the place. Not surprised." I reply, "Doesn't that get you excited?" I told you this is fucking gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I say, "Doesn't that get you excited?" And Giselle replies, "Just a bit. Sometimes, yes. After all, in the apocalypse, if you don't grab the chance to have fun, who knows if you'll get another shot at it." I reply, "Speaking of fun, I know a great place. Want to check it out with me?" Giselle replies, "Really? Is there a cat that does flips?" Or a dog that whistles? "Let me show you some real good stuff. How about you come over to my place?" And then she sends a sexy photo.
Is it a picture of a cat doing a flip?
I don't know what a cat doing a flip or a dog that whistles has to do with fucking in a garage during the apocalypse, but hey, you know. So that is the first installment of Bushey's AI girlfriends.
Bushey's AI girlfriend just wants to fuck in a garage.
Really? Apparently they're fine with dudes that all being creeps.
Bushey's AI girlfriend just wants to fuck in a garage.
I mean, it's the apocalypse. You never know when we're going to have fun again. Let's go find that flipping cat and dog whistler.
Okay.
That is not even one of the weirdest ones. They're so weird.
I believe you.
I didn't want to start with the best, so I was actually trying to find one of the closest to normal exchanges I could find.
I'm gonna reach out to Sam Cori.
And by the way, like when I say I reply, that's not me replying. Like I said, it's all just it's just you're watching a story unfold.
I'm gonna reach out to Sam Cori and have her come on in air and read some of the like weird ass DMs that she gets.
Oh shit!
And I think they'll be way weirder than your.
I forgot to bring it up, but I meant to ask her that. I was gonna say. So I imagine since you made a song named Dad Bod and gave all these dudes, at least they see that little glimmer of hope, that little bit of this girl likes dad bods. Let me DM. I was gonna ask her if she could smell the neck beard in her DMs.
Oh man! All right, so we're gonna end the show with that. This is "Oh Lucy" Titanic version by Sam Cori.
Thanks so much to both our guests, man.
Yeah, dude,
our first two segments
such a great show,
were
man.
amazing.
You've been listening to Pop Culture Radio. We will see you again next week.
John and Lucy grew up several countries away, wishing and fishing days away.
Pop Culture Radio has been a weird Florida production. Like and subscribe on your favorite platform.